So I got the Hulk versus movies on DVD. I first saw this movie on Tubi TV like years ago, and it was before I did movie reviews, and I posted a few clips on my channel um, of my favorite scenes from those movies. But I'm glad I finally got to rewatch it again. I have it on DVD, like I said. And Hulk versus Wolverine is extremely fun, so let's get into it. It's 37 minutes. It starts off like a TV show, where Wolverine wakes up and he's like, "What the hell happened to me?" And then we get like this cool little intro sequence, and then we find out what happened to him. And then he's like, "Oh, that's right, that's what happened." So we get a Wolverine and Hulk fight. The movie's surprisingly bloody, um, which is really cool. You know, most versus movies I feel like aren't that bloody. Um, but yeah, they have a good fight. It gets interrupted by X Force, which is, Deadpool, Omega Red, Lady Deathstrike, and Sabretooth. All of the actors who voice these characters do a really good job. Omega Red is sadly the least used out of them, who is probably my favorite out of the four. I've always been a big Omega Red fan. I think he's an underrated Wolverine villain. It's a shame that he was never in the X-Men movies. Um, anyways, so, now we find out that like the fucking professor guy wants to simply, make Wolverine a soldier again. That's pretty much the plot. But Wolverine isn't having it and eventually escapes, but albeit his smarts because and convenience because Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike want to kill Wolverine and they try to kill him, but he outsmarts them. Funnily enough, Sabretooth and Lady Deathstrike tried to lie to the professor. Well, not to the professor, to Deadpool and Omega Red for some reason. Like two other bad guys. Where later, when Wolverine escapes, they go to them for some help, recapturing Wolverine. And they say that Wolverine stabbed the professor in the back, when in fact, it had been Sabretooth. And Deadpool just straight up says, "Are you buying this?" And it's fucking funny as hell. Like, they did not come up with a good story. Um, so, the majority of this movie, unfortunately, isn't Hulk versus Wolverine. There are a few scenes, and they are pretty long, and they are pretty entertaining. But this movie's basically Wolverine versus X Force. Like, because it's the whole plot revolves around, oh, the reason Hulk was destroying shit was because X Force were trying to capture Hulk. That's the only reason that this whole movie's even happening, is because X Force were trying to fuck with Hulk. So I guess it makes sense, but at the same time, it's kind of annoying. Still a really fun movie, and since the characters are good, the performances are good, and the story's good, I honestly don't mind it. But still, slightly annoyed that there's just not as much Wolverine versus Hulk as you would want. I mean, the movie ends with Wolverine and Hulk about to fight again, man. They're about to fight again. And then they just end it there. There's also, funnily enough, a post credit scene where they reveal that Deadpool is still alive after the factory is destroyed, just for Hulk to jump on him. Um, then the next one is a 45-minute film, Hulk versus Thor, and Hulk and Thor don't even fight. It's Loki controlling Hulk, which I do not count as Hulk and Thor fighting. I'm sorry. So yeah, and then even then, the majority of Hulk fighting is just Hulk fighting random nobody Asgardians. Like, he takes out the actual characters first. The Warriors 3 takes them all out. Those are the first characters to go. Then he's just fighting fucking Valkyries and random Asgardians throughout the movie to get to Odin, because Odin's in Odin's sleep. So, Hulk's like really pissed after he breaks free from Loki's control. I will say that is an interesting thing they do. That Loki splits Hulk and Bruce Banner's bodies apart. So now Hulk is just Hulk. Like he is always angry. There's no calming down and going back to Bruce. It's just Hulk. And that's a very interesting concept. It doesn't change the fact that unfortunately Hulk versus Thor is a rather boring movie. They have so many characters, but they don't really do anything. The voice actors are talented. I mean, Daphne from the Scooby Doo movies, Grey Delsey, plays Lady Sif. But Lady Sif doesn't do anything. She has like two scenes and they're to Thor. Like they're regarded to Thor, how she's going to protect his father or how she loves Thor. And then that is really it for Lady Sif. And then Enchantress is here. And it's just like her, the shit that she has in the comics where she has a crush on Thor. That's her whole character in the movie. And it makes her helping Loki make even less sense. Because the only reason Loki is able to split Hulk and Banner is because Enchantress agrees to help him. Loki makes it very clear that he wants to kill Thor. But once Loki actually starts to kill Thor, she is regretting her plan. Like she did this just because she was mad at him for dating Lady Sif. It's just to add a little bit of drama in the movie. Hela's also in the movie, which is kind of cool, but again, she doesn't get to do too much. She gets like a few minutes of screen time, and they go for, the actual way the comics do it, where Loki is Hela's father, where in the MCU, Hela is Loki and Thor's sister. Um, it's a decent movie, but like I said, Hulk versus Thor is just kind of boring. All the action is, like I said, nameless Asgardians and Valkyries. Who cares? Really, the stakes is, Hulk might cause Ragnarok by killing Odin, and that's it. Um, but yeah, it's whatever. And then Hela ends up letting Hulk and Banner leave fucking hell simply because she thinks that he'll cause too much trouble down in hell. I guess even though she's literally the god of death, she can't figure out a solution. Like put him in a cage or something, a very strong cage, use her powers, something. She has no way of dealing with Hulk, so she just brings the fucker back to life. Because, no joke, Loki straight up kills Banner in this movie, which is rather surprising. I thought he was going to have plot armor because there's a scene where Loki's about to kill Banner, and then they cut away, and we don't see anything about that for like 10 minutes. And then they reveal that Loki actually fucking did kill Banner. But it feels like they took way too long because you almost forget that scene happened. Um, because of all the chaos that's happening in the movie. But I mean, they were okay movies, but the Hulk versus Wolverine is no doubt the way better out of the two.